The economy seems to be getting better in Maryland. According to the latest figures released by the State Comptroller's Office, income tax and sales tax receipts are up even more than expected. Christmas shopping helped to boost the state sales tax revenues. The figures show that more sales tax was collected last month than ever before, and last month's figures are based on December sales. The income tax collected also increased from last year, which means more people were employed in December than a year ago. But those receipts were still below estimated collections. The Comptroller's Office reported that the state made $5 million more on the sales tax than they expected, and that will go a long way, they say, in eliminating the $22 million projected budget deficit.
The sales tax hit the highest peak we've ever had in the state of Maryland, over $97 million. That was a growth of better than 15% for the same corresponding month in 1981, which was 82 fiscal year. Our income tax collections to date are now 99.75% of our estimate, and our sales tax is now running about over $5 million over our estimate for the first 6 months of the year. We just hope that these revenues will continue. If they do, Maryland will more than make its estimate and will show that our economy is improving.
1 month's figures do not a trend make, but Comptroller Goldstein at least is optimistic. He says the next figures will be released at the end of March. Lou Davis, News Scene 2, Annapolis.
Things to be done, and we need a public works job program right now to help our infrastructure, and I guess Paris has the same problem. Four-part program. The state personal income tax will be increased by 1% on net taxable incomes exceeding $15,000. This would raise $94 million for the state and $46 million for the counties, Baltimore City, and the incorporated municipalities. 2, the maximum local piggyback.
I don't want to prejudge it at this point. I'm certainly willing to take a look at it, analyze it, and see what it. I think the important thing is not just what it might do for the subdivisions, and particularly the city, and particularly Prince George's County, but what it does to the state's fiscal picture, and these things sort of, you can't consider them in isolation.
You don't have to pay income tax on all of your income. As much as the IRS might dislike it, the fact is certain types of income are completely tax-free. Social Security and Medicare benefits go untaxed. Same for your federal income tax refund, proceeds you receive as beneficiary of a life insurance policy. Any child support payments you receive from a separated or divorced spouse are free from tax, as is workman's compensation. If you're in a carpool and you collect small amounts to cover gas and tolls, you can pocket that money without telling the IRS. Cash rebates on new car purchases are not taxable income. Money borrowed from a bank or someone else doesn't have to be listed anywhere on your return. Now, most of these tax-free items don't even have to be reported. However, if you're audited by the IRS for some reason, that tax-free income could cause you a problem and unnecessary taxes. That's because you may be called upon to prove the amount of your income. The IRS may ask to see your checkbook register and bank statements. They total up all of these deposits you've listed and compare that amount on your return. If the figures don't match, you'll be asked to explain why. Since audits take place up to 3 years after you originally filed your return, it's not always possible to remember the source of each and every dollar you deposited. That's why I recommend you label all of your deposits when you make them. Make a note in the checkbook register and on the back of your deposit slip like birthday gift from Dad or transfer from savings account, whatever is appropriate. Reporting on your taxes, I'm Paul Strassels.
About $4.5 million more. Officials of the Transportation Department said that because the legislature delayed the beginning of the testing emissions program for a year, it'll cost that much more to get the program going. And officials told the Board of Public Works today that would mean the state would receive $4.5 million less from the company which will conduct the tests. Under the plan, testing of cars in the Baltimore metro area would begin next January. The state was to receive almost $13 million or 55 cents from each vehicle tested to help pay for its administrative costs. Now that has been reduced to $8.5 million.
Doesn't cost the public anything different. In other words, the original plan called for an inspection fee to the motorist of $9.